All right, I am live in my first ever cryptocurrency vlog. Actually, my very first vlog I made, wow, it must be, yeah, 3 years ago now. We are now May 4th, 2020, and I got into crypto in May of 2017. And I actually made a vlog there. I was so excited in the vlog. I remember I was wearing a blue shirt and I was smiling like crazy. And I was crazy excited about the whole crypto, dove deep into the whole crypto realm. And I guess one of the reasons I didn't do the vlog is that I just didn't think that I would be, uh, that I had the knowledge or the expertise to sort of talk about crypto. But I think that's negative thinking in the sense that, we all have a story to tell and we don't have to be, blockchain experts or have out. And I think there's value in creating a community around cryptocurrency, no matter what stage you're in. We want to, of the way the world works now, a lot of people, they are slaves to the financial system as we know it. They're paying ridiculous fees to, like in remittance. I was just reading today that, the remittance companies, they charge some incredible amount, like 9 to 11% of the actual, wage which these workers, a technological era where you can send money, with cryptocurrency for within less than like a second in some cases. Of course, with Bitcoin and some other cryptos, it takes a bit longer, and at virtually no cost. And here we are, where in a world where most people are sending money through a bank which is open from 9 till 5, only Monday to Friday, and which charges you sometimes obscene amounts just to send money across the world. I mean, it's just digital information, like it really baffles me. It's that we are still in this backward system, and it reminds me a lot of when the internet came out. And I was pretty young when it came out. I was born in '86, so when it came out in a big way, I was about in my mid-teens. I wasn't really like fully listening to the whole talk about it, but of course, Andreas Antonopoulos makes this parallel between the internet coming out and cryptocurrency, and he said how people try to start about you have none of these powers, these great powers that wanted people to have the freedom to communicate anything that they saw at any time and have their own platforms. That took away a lot of their power, but this is what happened anyway. And if there's a technology which is powerful enough, which offers enough value, it's not going to die. It's like it's a new idea. If we come up with AI which can create designer babies, sure, there's going to be some protests and people are going to say, no, we don't, this is not right and everything. But there's always going to be some country in the world which is just going to be like, okay, let's do it. And then other countries will be at a disadvantage. And it's similar with cryptocurrency. If some people are using crypto to send money at virtually zero cost, and within such a short time frame, and who don't have to answer to the banks, don't have to risk their money in the banks even, don't have to be subject to inflation. These people are going to come ahead, and they're going to get ahead in life. And the crazy thing about crypto, which I love about it, is that it's so unstoppable. It's like one government can do something to one thing I like to often ask is, what is your best argument against cryptocurrency? Like, what is the one thing which could take it all down, which would, break people's will, which would, but more fundamentally, which would stop it completely? And it's just like, there's really nothing, unless you're talking about like a global, I think it's called EMP, like where they cut out all electricity, But even then, crypto can be sent through channels outside of the internet. It's not only online. And but yeah, if you think of the more realistic examples, like, governments just, some governments telling their citizens, yeah, you can't, if you use crypto, you'll go to jail. It's like, well, you know, then other governments will still allow it, and other parts of the world will still allow it, and in a big way yet, because, you know, the powers that be, well, first of all, the powers that be don't want it to happen. So there's, you know, there's a fight, obviously. But secondly is that, yeah, it's true, we're not yet ready. Certainly Bitcoin is not yet ready for, you know, handling, you know, all the transactions that it would be required of it if everyone were to start using it. I think Visa handles something like 15,000 transactions per second or some incredible amount like that. And Bitcoin, I don't remember what it was, but I don't want to say a number in case I get it wrong, but it's substantially less. But, you know, with the Lightning Network coming out, they have the possibility to, you know, not only have more transactions, but potentially way more than even Visa, and of course even cheaper. So it's a work in progress, you know. Lightning, I was reading a BitMEX article about it, BitMEX Digest. They have great weekly articles, in depth, like they call it BitMEX Research, where they talk about this stuff in detail. I was reading this Lightning Network blog, and they said that they wrote their first post in January 2018 when Lightning was still experimental, and they felt that now is a good time to revisit it. So that's, wow, that's actually two and a half years later, and now they have like 12,000 Lightning nodes, just over. And it's, you know, it's still, it's a long, slow process, but, you know, if the proponents of Litecoin, you know, are right, then, you know, this is going to revolutionize crypto. And like, what's going to revolutionize the banks? You know, like, they're making so much money right now. You know, they don't want a revolution. You know, they want things to, the status quo to remain, because this is how, what's making them all this money. You know, if they, you know, it's just crypto. One of the things I love most about it is that it's about freedom. You know, it's about having the freedom to do what you want with your money, and not having to rely on other people to, not having to rely on others to, I'm getting tired of it. I'm trying to think, you know, I'm curious, I'm trying to make this an interactive thing. I see there's one person watching this, so I don't know who you are, but as I say, this is my first blog, so I'm kind of just wondering who you are. I'm not expecting many people to watch this. But if you want to write something in the comments to just say your name or whatever, that'd be cool, so I could actually be more like a conversation, since this is a live video. But if not, then that's cool. You can just watch. But yeah, I mean, I started this book recently, actually just this morning, called The Sovereign Individual. And wow, I'm just going to see when this book, Sovereign Individual, it was recommended by Dan Held. He recommended it in a podcast recently, and yeah, it's incredible. This book was published in 1999, and like, they're saying how, yeah, you know, there's going to be in the near future, everything's going to change dramatically. The individuals are going to acquire a lot more power than they ever did before. And this is going to mean that the governments are going to be fighting those who have acquired this power through information technology, essentially. And they're saying how there's going to be cyber currencies to technology and information specifically. You know, individuals, states, as we know it, will lose all will lose signal they thought of as anything which didn't support feudalism as being evil, you know, and so they would fight it with all their will, but with all their power. But now, you know, historians look back at it and they say, well, it was the French Revolution, it was the Renaissance, it was a great, and, you know, by getting out of feudalism, it was a great time, you know, for great advancement of human history. You know, it's likely that you know, 100 years from now, if and when crypto really starts taking hold in the world, people will look back on this and say, you know, it was a struggle, and the powers that be didn't, you know, we're not happy about it, but it's a great thing that we have it. You know, now people are sovereign; they have the power to do to manage their finances and to benefit from distributed systems. And yeah, so there's a lot of things that I'm excited about with crypto, and actually, I want to start writing again. I had a blog, it's been about 1.5 years since I've really written anything. I kind of fell off the bandwagon. You know, the big crypto downfall, the apocalypse, when it went from 20K to 3.5K, it was really brutal. I lost a lot of money, and I mean, I can tell you, I lost $160,000. I mean, fortunately, I made enough money to cover my living costs during that time, and I didn't know. I mean, I knew that Bitcoin was crazy volatile, and you look at the lows since 2009. You have, you know, some important lows, and although you have this crazy volatility in between, we're always bouncing off of these higher lows, and 3.5K is one of them as well. But you know, during the time, it was just like, I was like, how can I write about crypto when everything and the price is tanking so hard? But in reality, you know, the idea behind it and the power behind it is still there, and I believe in it really strongly. And so that's why I've started this blog, and why I'll create more content to share my story and to hopefully connect with others and educate people who don't, you know, have any knowledge about crypto or who have less than me. And yeah, I look forward to starting this. All right, that's it. Take care. Bye.